And so all the art started to converge, and I've always been a multidiscipline artist. So it's amazing how all these tools came together. And why I'm talking about that is because that's when I started to realize that's what gets your funk unstuck. All these negative self-talk, or, you know, you don't have a clear picture of the I am. Your self-discovery gets all clogged because all these seemingly experiences outside yourself of loss and betrayal and distraction and all these things away from that inner voice, that funky inner voice that talks to you, that is raw and earthy and real and authentic. And it has a lot of intuitive clues. That's what comes from your poetic compass. When you calibrate it, it really starts to talk to you about who you are, the I am, and where I am. And so you can focus yourself and really contribute to this life really like you are. So on to the story of Matsu. There's two characters that basically illustrate this incredible. One was called Funk. And I spelled it F-O-N-K just to, you know, make him unique. And his name was Funk. And he kind of looked like maybe a dog or a wolf or some type of creature like that. But he had a unicorn on his head, and he had almost like Yoda ears, really big ears, so he can really be aware of hearing. And basically how Funk was summoned into the Matsuu story universe was through Shigin. When Shigin was in the hospital, he created a lot of characters and creatures that exist in the Matsuu story universe. And one of them was Funk, because he met another kid when he was in there who had like a spinal damage, or, you know, basically got paralyzed down below, and so a lot of his feet, he couldn't walk and move his lower parts, so he's confined to a wheelchair. And so Shigin made him a creature called Funk, because he was always reminding his newly friend in the hospital, your funk is stuck, get your funk unstuck. And they would always joke about that, and so that's when Shigin created that creature. And then when Shigin got out of the hospital, he turned that creature on the general IPC. And he was like, here's this creature, and he's got his funk stuck. So he needs his funk unstuck. So part of the mythology that came out of there is get your funk unstuck. The first thing you gotta do is be really aware that your funk is stuck in all your traumas and all your past, you know, negative adventures, negative experiences that happen to you, and you're stuck, and you're in this loop where you are limiting yourself. You talk to yourself very negatively, and you're not willing to do, you know, all the incredible things, going back to the Edgejoy and Soundjoy, really learning tools like that so you can integrate who you are in a non-linear, you know, non-destructive way and go forward. And iPaintCreatures, General IPC, took that character and said, wait a minute, let's turn this into after the funk is unstuck. Let's turn this character into being Funkafied. And so basically what happened there is the birth of Funkadelic. Right? And that went back to, you know, my love for George Clinton and Parliament Funkadelic, but I spelled F-O-N-K, Funkadelic. We want the Funkadelic. And the Funkadelic became a superhero, alter ego of Funk. And he can not only walk, he can run at the speed of light, faster than the speed of light. He can leap over Mount Everest. He was stronger than an earthquake, a California earthquake. And Funkadelic became this amazing character that basically became an FIP, a funky eye puppet. And that's when Ra comes in, and he summoned him to come into the Be-Well Forest and start working with the FIP crew to get their senpai yokai powers back of full creativity, no limitation, no hesitation, and get that funk unstuck. And so Funkadelic's job is working with those creatures that basically have got their funk unstuck. They became aware that their funk was stuck. They got the medicine inside themselves to work and get it all funk unstuck, and so they can flow like a mighty river. And basically Funkadelic shows up when they're slipping back to maybe getting their funk stuck. So that's what it's all about. So that's the origins of the word funk and how it translated into the epic story experience of Matsu as first funk who had his funk stuck and was still kind of stuck, to the incredible, phenomenal Funkadelic. We want the Funkadelic is what it's all about. So thank you for tuning in to another iPaintCreatures production. Go down and hit that button of, subscribing. Come back and keep enjoying these videos, and comment too. Give me more guidance of where I'm going to go. I'm going to keep exploring all these concepts and the characters that come out of it, and bringing you more into the journey of the epic story experience of Matsu. So hit the Patreon down below, join on in, be a co-producer, start to collaborate with us, and basically also hit the Gumroad where you can basically get any of my paintings or my instruction, or get in touch with me and start collaborating on this. And we are just gonna keep moving forward. I got my funk gun stuck, and I'm riding with Funkadelic on that funky free train of Matsu. And also, if you want to give a super thanks, that would be incredible now. That only fuels more and more of this goodness. So thank you for tuning in. This is iPaintCreatures, and have a funky, funky life, and get rid of that funk unstuck, that stink, that smell of any fear inside yourself, to be exactly who you be. Peace, IPC, and the funky eye puppets. We want the Funkadelic.